Hi students, in this video class I want to talk about two things. First one nitrogen gas and second one about ammonia. How to prepare the nitrogen gas and ammonia gas and how to prepare, what are the properties of the nitrogen and ammonia, and the next one what are the uses of nitrogen and ammonia. First let me start with preparation of the nitrogen gas. You know that nitrogen gas or nitrogen is a diatomic molecule. First preparation method, we can prepare the nitrogen gas from air. We can prepare the nitrogen gas from the air because air contains 78% of the nitrogen, and the preparation of nitrogen from the air is a commercial method. So now air is a mixture of different components N2, O2, CO2 and very trace amount of the other gases also present like argon and krypton. Such kind of gases are also present in very trace amount, and the next one dust also mixed with the air. So before separating the nitrogen gas from the air, we need to remove the dust from this one. Air should be free from the dust. That dust free air is liquefied under the very low temperature. Dust free air is liquefied under the low temperature, very low temperature. It is approximately minus 2000 degrees centigrade, less than minus 2000 degrees centigrade. Under the temperature, air will be liquefied. You will get a liquefied air. Now in this liquefied air, nitrogen is present in the liquid state, oxygen present in the liquid state, carbon dioxide present in the liquid state, and other gases also present in the liquid state. Now this liquid air is a mixture of different components present in the liquid state. Now this one, by subjecting fractional distillation, we can separate the different components from the liquefied air. In this one you have nitrogen, it will be separated when you subject it to the fractional distillation at various temperatures. You will get N2 and you will get O2, and next one CO2, other gases will be separated. Right? Air is a mixture of different components. First, it should be free from the dust by subjecting several physical methods. After that, dust-free air should be liquefied at very low temperature, and liquefied air subjected to the fractional distillation. Under the fractional distillation at various temperatures, the components present in the liquefied air will be separated as N2, O2 and CO2. Here N2 is our desired product, right? And next one, second one. So here we will get the nitrogen by treating ammonium chloride with sodium nitrate, NaNO2. So when you treat the ammonium chloride with sodium nitrate, we will get nitrogen gas, and we will get 2 moles of the water, and we will get sodium chloride. Next we will get a very trace amount of the HNO3, and next one NO. So now to remove these impurities from the nitrogen gas, we need to treat that with aqueous solution of aqueous H2SO4 with aqueous sulfuric acid contains K2Cr2O7. So when you treat that with this combination, it will be purified. So this is the second method of the preparation of the nitrogen gas. And the next one, third one. So third preparation method of the nitrogen. So ammonium dichromate, which is NH4 taken twice Cr2O7. Ammonium dichromate, upon heating, this one decomposes to N2 gas, and next one 4 moles of the water plus Cr2O3. This is chromium oxide. So now here this is our desired product. Nitrogen gas we can get upon heating ammonium dichromate. And the next one, the fourth method, we can get the nitrogen gas by heating metal azides. One of the example, barium azide. Formula is BaN3 taken twice. N3 is known as azide, which is barium azide. I will write the name barium azide. So upon heating this barium azide, we will get pure nitrogen gas, and next one we can get barium metal. So this is our desired product. So these are the four different methods to prepare the nitrogen gas. Right? Next one, properties. We have to discuss properties. Preparation over. So next we need to discuss properties. Second one, properties of the nitrogen gas. Properties of nitrogen gas. So write that. First property, nitrogen is a colorless. Nitrogen is a colorless, odorless. You know that odor means smell, smellless, odorless. And next one, tasteless, and non-toxic gas. Non-toxic gas. So this is the first property. Nitrogen is a colorless gas, odorless gas, means it won't give any kind of smell, and tasteless, and which is a non-toxic gas. And second one, nitrogen has two isotopes. First one is N14 and second one is N15. And here both are stable isotopes of the nitrogen. Both are the stable isotopes. And third property, nitrogen is less soluble in water, which is less soluble in water. The solubility is 23 centimeter cubes per liter amount of the water. So in a liter water, 23 centimeter cubes of the volume of the nitrogen is soluble. So that is a very less solubility capacity of the nitrogen. And the next one, fourth one, nitrogen has very less freezing point, that is 63 kelvins, and less boiling point, that is 77 kelvins. Nitrogen has less freezing point as 63 kelvins, less boiling point, that is 77 kelvins. And next one, nitrogen is a inert material. That is, this is a inert in nature. Nitrogen is inert in nature. The reason is for that there is a triple bond between the two nitrogen atoms in N2 molecule. So triple bond has more bond dissociation energy. The breaking of the triple bond is very difficult. That's why this one behaves as an inert material. And sixth one is nitrogen and this one is inert at room temperature gas. At room temperature, you know that 25 degrees centigrade, which is known as the room temperature. At this temperature, this is inert in nature. But at high temperature, nitrogen reacts with metals like lithium. So lithium, when it is treated with nitrogen gas at high temperature, then here we will get lithium nitride, Li3n. So to balance this equation, you need to take 6 moles of the lithium and 3 moles of the, here we take 2, yes, that is equal. So 6 lithium atoms are there, and 2 into 3, 6 lithiums, and 2 nitrogens here, you have 2 nitrogens. So at high temperature, when nitrogen is treated with a metal lithium, you will get lithium nitride. And next one more example. When nitrogen is treated with magnesium at high temperature, you will get magnesium nitride. So that is Mg3n2. Right? And next one, seventh property. 5 properties completed, and sixth property. Right. Sixth property. Nitrogen, when it is treated with hydrogen gas at a temperature that is 773 kelvin at pressure 200 atmospheric pressure, and catalyst is here iron and molybdenum, that is the promoter. So at this condition, when nitrogen is treated with hydrogen, we will get the ammonia, that is NH3. So here 3 moles of the hydrogen, with 3 moles of the hydrogen, nitrogen is treated and we can get 2 moles of the ammonia gas. So now at this range of the pressure, temperature and under this catalyst, nitrogen reacts with hydrogen and gives ammonia gas. So this is known as Haber process. And seventh one is nitrogen reacts with oxygen at a very high temperature, that is 2000 Kelvin, and gives 2 moles of the nitrogen monoxide gas. So these are the properties of the nitrogen gas. And next we need to discuss uses of the nitrogen gas. Last one, uses of the nitrogen gas. So first use, nitrogen is used in the manufacture of ammonia gas, which is used to manufacture ammonia gas. This ammonia gas is used in the preparation of the fertilizers. Right? This is the first use of the nitrogen. Nitrogen is used to manufacture the ammonia gas, and ammonia is used in the preparation of the various types of the nitrogenous fertilizers. And the next one is nitrogen gas. You know that it is inert material, so which is used to create the inert atmosphere in laboratories, and next one in industrial chambers also. Second one is to create inert atmosphere. And the next one, the last one, which is used as a liquid nitrogen. Liquid nitrogen is used as a refrigerant. Liquid nitrogen used as a refrigerant to preserve the biological material. And to preserve the food, and it is also used in the cryosurgery. Cryosurgery means it is a type of surgery to remove the unwanted cells from the body. The removal of unwanted cells from the body is known as cryosurgery. Liquid nitrogen is used in that. So this is about the nitrogen preparation, and next one, properties and uses. Okay guys, next we have to discuss about the ammonia, preparation of the ammonia, properties of the ammonia, and next one, uses of the ammonia. Right? So first let us discuss the preparation of the ammonia. So actually very trace amount of the ammonia is available in the air, and next one, in soil also in trace amount ammonia is available. So in soil, ammonia is formed due to the decay of the nitrogenous organic compounds, nitrogenous organic matter. Example, urea. So you know urea formula is NH2, CO and NH2. This one reacts with the moisture or water present in the soil and gives 2 moles of the NH3, and next one water, and next one carbon dioxide. Right? Very less amount of the ammonia is available in the air, and the next one in the soil. In the soil, ammonia is formed due to the decay of the nitrogenous organic matter. Example for the nitrogenous organic matter, urea. So here urea reacts with the water and gives us ammonia and other byproducts will be formed. And next one, a very small scale of the ammonia will be formed from the ammonium salts. Ammonium salts. So from the ammonium salts, we can get a small amount of the small scale of the ammonium will be formed. First one, ammonium chloride, NH4Cl. This NH4Cl, when you treat with calcium hydroxide, CaOH taken twice, then we will get here NH3 gas, and the next one we can get CaCl2, and the next one we can get water. So these are the things will be formed. So from the ammonium chloride when you treat with calcium hydroxide, we can get ammonia and other byproducts will be formed. And second example, ammonium salt, that is NH4 taken twice SO4. So this one, when you treat with ammonium sulfate, when you treat with sodium hydroxide, here also we can get NH3 and next one Na2SO4, and we can get water. So these are the things we can get when you treat the ammonium sulfate with sodium hydroxide. So this is our desired product here. So from the ammonium salts, we can prepare the ammonia in small scale only. But by using or in the Haber process, we can prepare the large scale of the ammonia. So now we have to discuss about the preparation of ammonia through the Haber process. So here first let me explain the equation. After that through the flow chart also I will explain the formation of ammonia or the preparation of ammonia in the Haber process. So first let me explain the chemical equation regarding the formation or the preparation of ammonia in the Haber process. In the Haber process, 1 mole of nitrogen is treated with 3 moles of the hydrogen under the very high pressure, that is 200 atmosphere, and next one 773 kelvins temperature, and catalyst is iron oxide Fe2O3 Al2O3 plus K2O. So under these conditions, these two react together and gives 2 moles of the NH3 gas. So now this is a reversible reaction, So now in order to get more amount of the product, by following the Rechardt-Lea principle, we have to maintain the high pressure, and next one moderate temperature, and the next one here catalyst is used to increase or to speed up the rate of the equilibrium. Alright, according to Rechardt-Lea principle, when pressure increases, volume decreases. When volume decreases, system want to decrease the number of moles. Now here, when reaction proceeds in the forward direction, number of moles will be decreased. That's why we have to maintain the high pressure here. And you know that guys, this is a exothermic reaction. So here, the heat liberated 46 kilojoule per mole. This is a exothermic reaction. In the formation of the ammonia, the amount of heat liberated is 46 kilojoule per mole. So now here, here we need to supply the less amount of the temperature, because this is already exothermic reaction. To get the more amount of the product, we need to maintain the small temperature or less temperature. But at less temperature, the rate of the reaction is very slow. That's why here we have to maintain the moderate temperature, that is 773 kelvins. Right? So this is an exothermic reaction. For exothermic reaction, in order to get the more amount of the product, according to Rechardt-Lea principle, less amount of heat is preferable, less amount of the temperature is preferable. But at less temperature, the reaction rate is very slow. To maintain the moderate rate, we need to maintain the moderate temperature. Right? This is about the chemical equation of the preparation of the ammonia in Haber process. Next, let me explain through the flow chart. Let me draw the diagram first. Okay, right guys. So this is a flow chart which is useful to understand the preparation of the ammonia in the Haber process. Now in this flow chart, you see here we have two inlets. These two inlets are used to send hydrogen gas and next one nitrogen gas. Through these two inlets we need to send the hydrogen gas and next one nitrogen gas. Now from here onwards both the gases will be mixed. Now here the mixture of N2 and H2. The mixture of N2 and H2 allows to enter the first chamber. This chamber is nothing but this is known as a compressor. So here after entry of the mixture of H2 and N2 in this chamber, here the mixture of N2 and H2 will be compressed by using the pressure 200 atmospheric pressure. Under the 200 atmospheric pressure, the mixture of the nitrogen and hydrogen will be compressed. Now the compressed gas is allowed to enter the second chamber. In this chamber we have catalyst, that is iron oxide. We have catalyst iron oxide, and next one we have Al2O3 plus K2O, and this chamber the temperature is maintained 773 kelvins. Now after entry of the compressed mixture of N2 and H2 in this chamber, now here in the presence of the catalyst, nitrogen molecules and hydrogen molecules both will be react together. So both can react together and gives us NH3 molecules. Finally from this one we can get the three things, a mixture of the three components. So here that is NH3, N2 and next one H2. So here all the N2, H2 molecules won't react together. Few molecules react together to give the NH3, and unreacting molecules are also present in this mixture. Now the mixture of the ammonia, nitrogen and hydrogen is allowed to pass through the condenser. When the mixture of NH3, N2, H2 is allowed to pass through the condenser, NH3 will be liquefied. Liquefied NH3 will be collected in the third chamber. Now N2 and H2 they won't be liquefied here, and they will pass through the another tube to enter the which is the recycling pump. So here unreacting H2 N2 molecules, by passing through this tube they enter the recycling pump, and from here onwards they are again present as the starting materials. Again they will be allowed in this chamber. Here again some molecules react together and give ammonia, and here ammonia will be liquefied. Again if there are any unreacting molecules they will be allowed in this tube to enter the recycling pump. Right? So here in this manner we can get the ammonia in Haber process. Right? So this is a flow chart guys to understand the preparation of the ammonia in Haber process. Let me rub this one. Okay, right guys. So the preparation methods of ammonia completed. Next one, properties of the ammonia. Properties of ammonia. So first one, ammonia is a colorless gas. And the next one, it gives pungent smell. Ammonia is a colorless gas and it gives pungent smell. And the next one, the second one is, so this one has a freezing point that is 198 kelvins and boiling point is 238 kelvins. The freezing point of the ammonia is 198 kelvins and the boiling point of ammonia is 238 kelvins. And next, third one, it is associated to the hydrogen bond. So in ammonia, there is a formation of the hydrogen bond. It is associated, to the hydrogen bond as in water. You know guys, in water, between the water molecules there is a hydrogen bond, like that. In ammonia also there is hydrogen bond. I will show you that. So now let me take one molecule of the ammonia here, and these are the two hydrogens. NH3 molecule you can write like this. You know that nitrogen is more electronegative atom. As a result, the bond pair of electron moves towards the nitrogen and partial negative charge is present over nitrogen. And here electrons are moving towards the nitrogen. That's why here partial positive charge will be developed. And let me take another nitrogen. In another nitrogen also we have same situation, right? And on this one partial negative charge and here partial positive charge present. Now this hydrogen is present between the two electronegative atoms, and this one has partial positive charge, here partial negative charge is there. That's why here between these two partial electrostatic force of attraction will be developed. This partial electrostatic force of attraction is formed when hydrogen present between two strong electronegative atoms, and which is known as a hydrogen bond. In ammonia compound, all the molecules are associated through this hydrogen bond, right? So due to the presence of this hydrogen bond, ammonia has more boiling point. Okay, right. And next one, fourth one. Fourth one is structure. So fourth one is the structure. You know that ammonia has trigonal pyramidal structure. Ammonia is present here, and around this one, 3 hydrogen atoms are present through the covalent bond, and over here there is a lone pair. This is the structure of the ammonia molecule. In ammonia molecule, nitrogen is present at the top, and over this there is a lone pair in sp3 hydride orbital, and next one nitrogen is connected with 3 hydrogen atoms through the covalent bonds. Here you can see that 2 normal lines represents these atoms are present on the plane, and this is the broken line. Broken line represents this hydrogen is present below the plane. So you can say that here this is a non-planar molecule. Ammonia is a non-planar molecule, and here nitrogen undergoes sp3 hybridization. Nitrogen undergoes sp3 hybridization. In ammonia molecule, nitrogen undergoes sp3 hybridization, and here the bond angle is 107 degrees 38 minutes, and the geometry of the molecule is trigonal pyramidal shape. Trigonal pyramidal shape. So this is the fourth property of the ammonia NH3 molecule. Right. And next one. Next one, solubility in water. Solubility. So ammonia is soluble in water. Ammonia is soluble in water, and the aqueous solution of ammonia is basic in nature. Ammonia is soluble in water. Ammonia is soluble in water. So then, when they is soluble in water, the resulting solution is basic in nature. What is the reason for that? The reason is when NH3 is added to the water, then what happens here? We will get ammonium ions, and next one OH minus ions is present in water. So due to the presence of this hydroxide ions, the aqueous solution of ammonia is basic in nature, right? Ammonia is soluble in water, so that mixture is basic in nature due to the formation of the OH minus ions. And next one, ammonia reacts with acids. Ammonia reacts with acids and gives ammonium salts. Example, let me take NH3. When it is allowed to react with HCl, then it gives NH4Cl. This is ammonium chloride. And second example, ammonia when it is allowed to react with H2SO4, we can get ammonium sulfate, NH4 taken twice and SO4. So ammonia when it is allowed to react with acids, we can get ammonium salts, right? And the next one, right? So ammonia when you treat with water, we can get basic solution. That one contains NH4OH molecule, and this NH4OH ammonium hydroxide, which is a weak base, when it is treated with metal salts like ZnSO4, we can get here PBT, metal hydroxide PBT, ZnOH taken twice, and we can get NH4 taken twice SO4. 2 moles of the NH4OH reacts with the salt, metal salt, example zinc sulfate, and gives here a hydroxide, metal hydroxide PBT, which is a white PBT. And one more example, this weak basic ammonium hydroxide, when you treat with Fe2O3, FeCl3, then we can get here Fe2O3 dot 2H2O plus we can get NH4Cl. So now this is a brown color PBT, which is a brown color PBT. So this is hydrated oxide, hydrated iron oxide, which is brown color PBT, right? And the next property is right. And the next one, last property is, guys, in NH3 molecule, upon the nitrogen there is a lone pair. So due to the presence of this lone pair, this one acts as a Lewis base. This one acts as a Lewis base. So now this one, when there is a availability of vacant sites, by using the lone pair, this one forms coordinate covalent bond. Okay. So now this ammonia is used to detect the metal ions. This is used to detect the metal ions. One example I will explain. So for example, when you treat this one with copper plus 2 ions, in copper plus 2 ions, which is APS, when the solution of the copper plus 2 ions is treated with the ammonia, here 4 ammonia molecules react with the Cu plus 2 through the coordinate covalent bond. Here we have vacant sites in this one. Vacant orbitals are present in this ion. Now here there is a lone pair in each ammonia molecule. Now here by using this lone pair, ammonia forms coordinate covalent bond with copper plus 2 ions. 4 molecules of the ammonia forms 4 coordinate covalent bonds with the copper plus 2 ions and gives a complex ion, that is CuNH3 taken 4 times, and which is blue, deep blue in color, For example, here there is some solution. We don't know what kind of metal ions are present in this one. Now after adding ammonia in this one, if it is turns into blue color, then you can say that here there are copper plus 2 ions. Okay. So ammonia is used to detect the presence of the ions like this. And one more example. Ammonia, when you treat with a solution containing silver ion or simply AgCl, you know AgCl is in precipitate. In AgCl, this is present in +1 state, this is present in -1 state. Next, when you treat this one with 2 moles of the NH3, so here we can get a complex compound, that is AgNH3 taken twice. This is a complex part. The next one, Cl. And this is aqueous, which is soluble in water. And this is a colorless substance, which is colorless substance, right? So now when you treat this AgCl, this one is more soluble in water, and this one when you treat with the ammonia, we can get a complex compound, which is a colorless substance, right? These are the properties of the ammonia. And the next one, last one, uses of the ammonia, right? So the first one, ammonia is used to manufacture the various types of the fertilizers. Example, ammonia is used to make the urea, that is NH2CO NH2, and the next one, ammonium phosphate NH4 taken thrice PO4, and next one, ammonium sulfate NH4 taken twice SO4, and next one, ammonium nitrate NH4 taken twice NO3. So these all are used as fertilizers. So to prepare these all the fertilizers, ammonia is a starting material, NH3 is a starting material. And the next one, ammonia is used to make the inorganic compounds. The very important one is HNO2. By using the ammonia, you can prepare the nitric acid. And next one, ammonia, that is liquid ammonia. Liquid ammonia is also used as a refrigerant. You know that liquid nitrogen is used as a refrigerant. Like that, this liquid ammonia also used as a refrigerant. So right guys, this is about preparation, properties, and the next one, uses of the nitrogen gas, and the next one, ammonia. Thank you.